Ikhabhinethi isamukele isivumelwano esoqinisekisa ukuthi iMozambique ihlinzeka iNingizimu Afrika ngamandla ogesi angu-1000 megawatts ezinyangeni ezintathu ezizayo uma ngabe sekucikicwe isivumelwano sokuthengiselana ngamandla ogesi. Lena ngeminye yemizamo yokuxazulula izingqinamba zamandla ogesi kuleli okunomthelela ongemuhle emnothweni wezwe. Lokhu kumenyezelwe ungqongqoshe wehhovisi likaMengameli uKhumbudzo Ntshabeni esithangamini sabeyindaba ePitoli ethula umphumela womhlangano wekhabhinethi obubanjwe eThangi.
Elilizwe liza kufumana umbane kwilizwe laseMozambique. Oku kuza kunceda iziko eliphehla umbane kweli ukwehlisa ucimicimi wombane ngesigaba esinye.
Cabinet welcomed the agreement that will see Mozambique supply South Africa with 100 megawatts of electricity within the next 3 months upon the signing of the power purchase agreement. The next 3 to 12 months will see South Africa importing up to 1,000 megawatts of electricity from Mozambique. Cabinet further welcomed continuous improvement in the Eskom's generation capacity that has ensured that the utility registers over 60% energy availability factor.
Umphathiswa kweofisi yobongameli uKhumbudzo Ntshaveni uzibhebhethile izixeko zabemi boMzantsi Afrika namajelo endaba ezijolise kwiphulo lomiselo xolo lweAfrika.
It is the first mission in the world and on around peace in Ukraine that had leaders meeting both the Ukraine president and also the president of the Russian Federation. And that milestone on its own, it's a significant milestone. And also the matters that have been discussed, which the president has also articulated in the podcast that we've shared, to say these are the issues we've articulated to them. They are going to come back on the matters. And those matters that have been discussed are making a significant milestone into progressing the possibility of a peaceful resolution of the conflict. So the focus on the negativity of our media in South Africa should not deter us.
Kusenjalo ikhabhinethi ivakalise umbulelo ngezixhobo ezixabisa imali efikelela kwi-167 million rand ezivela kwilizwe laseChina kwilinge lokunceda uMzantsi Afrika kwingxaki yezamandla.
Abaholi bamazomhlaba engqungqutheleni eyaziwa nge-New Global Financing Pact eParis eFrance banxusa ukuba kube noguquko esimeni sezimali emhlabeni. Umengameli uCyril Ramaphosa uyingxenye yale ngqungquthela lapho kubhungwe khona ngezamandla.
Umongameli waseMzantsi Afrika ekwiphulo lokufuna inkxaso eEurope nanjengoko eli lizijule ijacu ngokusombulula amaqhina kwezoqoqosho. Mongameli uRamaphosa akachithanga xesha ekutendalaziseni imibhodamo embamba ngobhongwane kude kusegede ekuquququlana nayo.
We need to be flexible. It needs to be a flexible type of journey. Right now in our own country we have learned, as we've been traversing this path, that we've got to take into account our current challenges, and our current challenges are born out of the history of our own country, but also they have to deal with our energy shortage right now.
Ngaphambili unobhala Jikelele wamazwe amanyeneyo uthethe wophela ngobuthathaka bamaziko amele ukuxhasa amazwe ajamelene namajingiqhewu kwezoqoqosho.
We must ensure that they can support the scaling up that is necessary, the scaling up of investments, the unlocking of investments, but also mobilize low-cost capital from their own resources and, very importantly, catalyze private finance through management and sharing of risk and bringing down the cost of capital.
Kwa oluluvo lunye luye lwadluliswa nazezinye inkokheli kule ngqongqothela.
I-ANC eWestern Cape ithi iyaqhubeka nengqungquthela yesishagalolunye ukhetha ubuholi esifundazweni ezohlala eKapa kulempela sonto. Leli qembu lithi emva kwezingqinamba elihlangabezane nazo ezifaka phakathi ukuqubwa kobhubhane lwe-COVID-19 nokuntuleka kwemali lizokwazi ke ukubamba ingqungquthela nokulungiselela ukhetho likazwelonke lwangonyaka ozayo. Le ngqungquthela izoqala mhla zingama-23 kuze kube umhla zingama-25 kwephezulu.
Ikomiti elibhekele ukusebenza kwe-ANC mihle namalanga selikhombise ukusekela usotswebhu we-ANC ePhalamende uPhemi Majodina kanye noRichard Jantshi okuyena uhlalo wekomiti lokuqondisa kwesigwegwe komvikeli womphakathi uAdvocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Labo bobabili uJantshi noMajodina kanye nalowo wasweleka uThina Jomet Peterson basolakala ngokufuna imali ngokungomthetho kuMkhwebane. uJantshi kanye noMajodina bawaphikile lamahlebezi. I-ANC ithi kungcoliswa igama lalaba nje bobabili.
The ANC is also concerned that the reputations of the chief whip and the chairperson are being of the inquiry are being subjected to attacks on the basis of hearsay evidence.
Unobhala Jikelele we-ANC osexoshiwe eqenjini u-Ace Magashule, i-ANC ithi ayazi ukuthi wenzani njengamanje. uMagashule uthi uzokwazi ukusiphendulela edlangalaleni eyinsukwini ezizayo ngekusasa lakhe kwezombusazwe.
So we don't know what he's planning, to form a party or to leave or to still appeal to the National Executive Committee or anything of that sort. We don't know.
Ezithinta amazwe ngezokuxhumana, i-ANC isembongile umongameli weqembu kanye nomongameli wezwe uRamaphosa ngokuya e-Ukraine kanye naseRussia. Unobhala Jikelele weqembu uthi lo mzamo kaRamaphosa muhle kakhulu ukuze kuzoqedwa lolu dlame olukhona phakathi kweRussia kanye ne-Ukraine.
He expressed his regret about what happened with the plane. What is interesting about that stuck up in Poland is that the president had a courtesy call to the president of Poland, and then thereafter he left, knowing very well that everything will fall into place.
Inhlangano ebusayo i-ANC kanye nazo zonke ezinye izinhlangano ezibusayo ngaphakathi kwe-BRICS zizohlangana ngenyanga ezayo ukuze kulungiselelwe ingqungquthela ye-BRICS ezobanjwa ngo-August eNingizimu Afrika. Ngingusamkela Maseko, ngibele izindaba ze-SABC eGoli.
Iphalamende lidumele ngamazwi okugxeka enhloko yamajaji uRaymond Zondo malungana nokusola lona ukuhudula inyawo dabeni lokuthatha inyathelo ngeincomo zokugwamandwa kwamandla ombuso. Lokhu kuza emva kokuthi ijaji uZondo elabe lingusihlalo wekhomishana ophenye insolo zokuqhwagwa kwamandla ombuso eshiye angalazi ngesikhathi ethula inkulumo eqavile emcimbini obuhlelwe iHuman Sciences Research Council ePitoli izolo. Uzokalisa ukukhathazeka malungana nokugqoza kwePhalamende uqinisekisa ukuthi phela lelizwe aliphindi litho lelibhekene naleso simo sokulawulwa kombuso yidlanzana, kanti ke ongoti bezomthetho sisekelo bakholwa ukuthi nakuba ikhona imizamo eyenziwayo ukubhekana nabanindeke ekhomishaneni kaZondo kepha imizamo yabo ayenele. Ikomiti lePhalamende libhekele ukusetshenziswa kwemali yabakhokhi intela iSCOPA lizwakalise ukukhathazeka malungana nokusashazwa kwemali kweminye iminyango kahulumeni. Ikomiti leSCOPA lihambele ihhovisi likaMgcini Mafa kuzwelonke ePitoli ukuyokwamukela umbiko mayelana nesabelo mali okungakacaci namanje ukuthi ngabe sisebenze kanjani eminyangweni kahulumeni kuzwelonke. Phakathi kwembukeli waleminyango ethintekayo kukhona oweyindaba zomdabu, owezemfundo eyisisekelo, owezokuthutha kanye nowezamanzi nokuthuthwa kwendle.
We need to deal with it so that, for lack of a better phrase, go back to ground zero and probably start the headache again, because in the absence of controls and enforcement by everybody responsible in the conveyor belt of the PFMA, likely these things will happen. But there has to be a particular parliamentary will to make sure that we place correctly the consequences and outcomes of each unauthorized expenditure.
Unauthorized expenditure incurred by the GCIS in 2013-14. In December, there was the funeral of former President Mandela, but in the end, they could not cover all the activities or all the costs relating to the funeral, and there was an unauthorized expenditure of 3.696 million in the department.
On the Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disability, this unauthorized expenditure we're talking about resulted in 2011-2012. That was when the department was still the Department of Women, Children and People with Disability. This unauthorized expenditure of 27.3 million emerged from overspending on the main division.
Total mess. I mean, I was really disappointed to find that National Treasury seems to be so lax about things it should be very strict about. The law is very clear about what it is that National Treasury itself, before we even get to the departments, what it should be doing in terms of preventing all of these things from happening, in terms of enforcing the law, in terms of prescribing norms and standards of what should happen.
There are departments that didn't follow processes, but the money was used for the right purpose. So they submitted late their responses or their requests. Those departments, we are recommending that Parliament considers them favorably, but the money must be taken out of their next year or following year's allocations.
Sizokwethulwa namhlanje isinqumo esimayelana namakhansela e-ANC akhonjwa indlela esifundeni Mangaung. La makhansela abe esenikele enkantolo kuyophonsela inselele isinqumo sokuxoshwa kwawo. La makhansela akhonjwa afike ngayo ekuqaleni kwalonyaka emva kokuthi avota neqembu eliphikisayo kulesi sifundo iDemocratic Alliance lapho phela kwakukhethwa khona ikhansela leDA uMark Davis njengemeya emkhandlwini waseMangaung. Nakuba iNC kwakuyiyo noma kuyiye nezihlalo eziningi. Sikhuluma nje kembukeli namanje Mangaung ayikakabi nayo imeya. Lokhu sekholele ekutheni kube khona ukungethenjwa kahulumeni waseFree State malungana nobuholi bawo. Izakhamuzi zaselusikisiki esifundazweni Eastern Cape zifuna ukuthi ikomiti leqembu elibusa iANC lilethe uxolo kulesi sifundazwe. Lokhu kuza emva kokuthi kungqongqoswe noma kungqongqiswe ngomlilo izindlu zamanye amalunga leliqembu kuWard 1 eNgquza Hill.
Zaphe ezininzi sisheke zingenamakhaya sithetha nje.
Ingxaki esukele kuyo yonke lento yoba sibize iBGM ANC. Kule BGM ANC we expect amalungu ayi160 ANC. But bona beza emeeting bengengomalungu ANC. But by ANC beza meeting neANC bengengomalungu ANC.
Loqulukubhode ungabikho kwemvisiswano ushiye amakhaya amaninzi edandathekile emphefumulweni.
Yilento kwesibona nalapha ekhaya kuchisiwe. Lento bapha ekhaya dililungu leANC, abantu balapha ekhaya amalungu eANC bonke nakweminye nakwezinye families ngamalungu eANC nefamilies zabo. Yiyo lento kuyewacabama kuchiswe ke ngoku ukwenzela iANC ibonakale ingekho ngokupheleleyo ngokunokwaba gqibi iANC.
Imeko imbi kakhulu kuba kaloku umama notata sebasweleka sobashiya thina. So ke ngoku ikhaya lethu njengoba lichile kuzofuneka siqale phansi and ke ngoku asikabi nandawo yakuhlala because kaloku akukho kwadlishiweyo. Sisababeka abantu ifamily zethu siyazibeke kwizihlobo zethu.
Amaxhoba akholwa ukuba ukutshiswa kwemizi yawo ngeyikhuselekile ukuba ngaba abagcini bomthetho bebekhawulize bafika kwiindawo zexhwayelo.
Uba urhulumente wethu amapolisa besebenze ngendlela epheleleyo ngeba kudanga kubinje. Ngoba siqale saba alert amapolisa ngale mini kuzovandalizwa ngomvulo. Afika late.
Uzibhekilise kude kwingxubakaxaka eqhubayo kulelali watsho esithi le ingxaki yeANC.
Ndicela mna kungenelele iphondo because ngabantu bombutho oyi1 ababalwayo xa nisithi iqala kwiBGM. Xa ungangenelela iphondo lize lizosabela ezikhalo zabantu boyi2 mhlambi iyona nto ingasisombululo eyo.
Abo batyholwa ngokuba baxhasa uceba ngomthuzimele bathi bangamalungu asekuhlaleni yaye bangamalungu eANC. Ingxubakaxaka iqale emveni kokuba bethintelwe ukuba babe yinxalenye yendibano yeBGM yeANC.
Kude kube nje ngoku utshe imizi yabantu ngenxa basazenyulelo wethu uceba abafuni ke ngoku into yoba thina masihlangane nabo bayasibaleka.
Ireason abahlali bafuna ukuba kube khona isikhokhelo. Ofithi isikhokhelo asikwazi ukonyulwa ngabahlali, abazi abahlali. Xa kuziwa kufanele bakonyula isebe liyonyulwa without abahlali aba bavotayo.
Abahlali kulommandla bapembelele isigqeba ANC ephondweni ukuba ngenelele ukuzisa inzolo kulommandla. Umbutho weANC usigxekile isenzo sokutshiswa kwemizi nodutsho olujolisiwe kumalungu eANC kwakulo mmandla. Dinkululeko Nyembezi wendaba SABC elusikisiki.
Umnyango wezemfundo eGauteng umemezele ukwelula isikhathi sokuvalwa kwethuba lokubhalisela izikhala zokufunda ngonyaka u2024. Njengamanje abafundi bebanga lokuqala kuya ebangeni lesishiyagalombili sebavumeleke ukuthi babhalise online kuze kube umhlazi ngama-21 kuNtulikazi. uSteve Mabona ukhulumela umnyango wezemfundo ube nenkulumo ngxoxo nohlelo lwendaba lapha eSABC iFull View izolo kusihlwa.
We have realized that parents prefer to drop off their documents at schools that they've applied for. And we felt that because we are going for recess, from the 23rd of July up until the 17th of July, coming back on the 18th, when you close on the 14th, then you might disadvantage those parents that would want to, take their documents at the schools. So that's why we then felt that let's extend up until the 21st of July and also giving them up until the 28th to submit, because we have 7 days after application to submit your documents.
We'll talk about just, the surge in numbers that have applied on your online system, but I just want to understand this better for the sake of the parents. This is a school that they would prefer for their children. Are they limiting the scope of schools they could apply for if they go to their school of choice and hand in documents and make the application there?
No, when you apply to 3 or 4 schools, you need to submit to all of them. Right. But when you upload online, you upload once. All schools that you would have applied for, they will then be in a position to view your documents and access them there. So it's advantageous to upload online. But, we have realized when you assess the numbers, you can see that most of parents, they still prefer to take their documents at the school, because we've realized that some parents, the information that is online does not match. For instance, the proof of address. You find that you want to give us a document that does not have your names, and that is a challenge. And those that are letting or leasing, they need to give us additional information, like the copy of the identity of the owner and the municipal, account document or a statement that will bear their names. So those are the things that we really need.
If my memory serves me well, I think the last time we checked, the number of applications you'd received on the online portal was north of 400,000. And I suppose one of the questions being asked is, are all of those children going to be placed? It's a question you get faced with every single year.
No, actually, we have recorded over 400,000 applications, but that does not mean it's applicants, because a parent might apply to more than one school.
Right.
So we still are looking forward to many parents applying, because when you look at the applicants, we are still far from about 300,000 that will normally record in terms of the applicants that will apply each and every year. So that's why we encourage parents to continue to apply, go online and apply, and make sure that at least by the time we start with the placement, we would have had everyone in the system, so that we can know where we pressured and they plan better.
Well, we certainly will have you back once the application process is completed, so that we can get to, as you say, the accurate numbers around how many learners need to be placed in school. Because, again, we'll have this conversation, probably in January or February, closer to the time that they will be placed, to find out whether, there is spaces at schools for each of them. I want to come to the second issue, Steve, if we may, and this relates to the Gauteng City Region Academy and the reported non-payment of stipends to thousands of young people who are on internship programs at the Tshwane North and Ekhaya East, I think TVET colleges. What's the reason? Is this true, and what's the reason for it?
Yes, it is true, but we have already paid all of them that stipend. We initiated as a department to go to TVET colleges and say learners that want to go to different companies for work experience, we will assist them with a stipend, because we've realized that when they go to many companies are not actually amenable to paying them a stipend. Because we have a responsibility to empower youth in Gauteng, we felt that let's pay them a stipend. So the challenge that we had was more of the systems, during the process, after capturing all their names in our systems, and the integration with the ICAV and your CETA, because you need to verify. You cannot just pay, because some of the young people would have benefited out of the other programs of government. So you need to make sure that there's no double dipping and all that. So that process was delayed, but we managed to resolve. And we've decided that in future we're going to digitize this process so that we are not having such problems.
So you're saying all of these 7,000, I think the number was, have been paid. When were they paid?
They were paid last week. It's just that Ramlifi is campaigning to be a DA leader in Gauteng. So he issues statements without content. You issue a statement and then you ask us questions. Because if you look at that statement, he's saying he has asked questions to the department, the MEC must respond.
Yeah.
But you go in public with information that is you are not sure of what you are talking about. So we're going to respond to them and tell them on when we paid, all of them that have been paid. We've paid, and we have learned from this. We're going to change the process on how we're capturing, these young people. But it's our drive to empower them and make sure that, because they need that experience so that they can be conferred with their qualifications. If they don't have that, they're not conferred with their qualifications. And we are assisting them as a department.
Abezomgwaqo eTshwane bakhiphe umyalelo othi abashayeli kumele benze isiqiniseko sokuthi bashayela ngokucophelela.
Usodolophu wesixeko saseTshwane uSilius Brink uvakalise esisixeko njengesijamelene namantsintsintsi kwintsebenzo ngenxa yentsinda badala yezezimali ethi ibangele ukunqongophala kwezixhobo. Oku emva komyalelo ovakaliswe ngobambele ulawulo lwamapolisa kwisixeko saseTshwane uBessel Ngwashu othi unxibelelwano namagosa ezendlela malushicelelwe ukurhoxisa urhwaphilizo nokunqamla ubuqhophololo kumagosa endlela. Isithethi samapolisa
It is important for a motorist to know that once you are being stopped by either a traffic or police official, that you are entitled to ask to see for either an appointment certificate or an appointment card from that official to prove the identity that they are really a police official. And if you are feeling that this official is mistreating you or the behavior is unruly, then you can report to the JMPD, and that's using the anti-corruption hotline, which is 0800 203 712.
Brinks uthe akuvumelekanga ukuba isixeko sivumele ubugwenxa kanye kubasebenzi abathwaliswe uxanduva lokukhusela uluntu yaye ukunqongophala kwezixhobo akusosizathu singqengqwa esingangumqobo kumagosa ukuba enze umsebenzi wawo ngokufanelekileyo.
Let's be honest. If we have to wait until everybody's got a car, everybody's got perfect resources, then we won't function. Because beyond any collective agreement, we've got an agreement with the public that we won't deploy criminals to do the work of police.
We have capacity to deal with these issues that are, in our hands currently.
Isithethi samapolisa wesixeko saseTshwane uIsaac Mahamba uthe amatyala wabasebenzi belisebe ayi-225 aphantsi kophando acacisa ukuzijula kwabo ijacu ekuqinisekiseni ukuthabathela ingqalelo imiba erhuqisa umrhaji yamagosa ezendlela ebikwa ngabaqhubi. Kungoko ekhuthaze uluntu ukuba luyithembe ingalo yomthetho ngokuhlola izehlo zempatho-mbi, ulwaphulo-mthetho nobutshijolo. Ndimlo Lilitha Ntsundwani kwiindaba ze-SABC.
Inhlangano ezingenzi inzuzo zimatasa zisebenza ngokwelekelela ngezindlu zangasese eziyimgodi ikakhulukazi ezikoleni. Lolu hlobo lwezindlu zangasese ke londe kakhulu esifundazweni Eastern Cape kanye naKwaZulu-Natal.
Abafundi besikole samabanga phansi umsunduzi esisendaweni yasemakhaya eNdwedwe enyakatho yeTheku bebelokhu besebenzisa izindlu zangasese zomgodi eziyingozi. Umnyango wezemfundo esifundazweni wazakha izindlu zangasese ezishawa ngamanzi kodwa zaba nenkinga zangasebenza okuphoqe abafundi baqhubeke nokusebenzisa izindlu zangasese zomgodi. Lesi sikole singezinye ezizohlomula ohlelweni leBreadline Africa lokuqeda izindlu zangasese zomgodi. Lenhlangano yakhe izindlu zangasese ezishawa ngamanzi eziyishumi kulesi sikole.
Besihlale nje sithukile ngaso sonke isikhathi ngoba besiyeke sisebenzise ama cleaners wethu ukuthi abamonithe njalo mangabe beze ema toilet. Sacela nje kuthisha omkhulu ukuthi asisize ngalokho ukuthi babe baningi ngasema toilet ukubheka nje ukuphepha kwabantwana bethu.
iBreadline Africa ithi inhloso yabo ukubuyisa isithunzi sabafundi nokuqinisekisa ukuphepha kwabo.
Our aim is to do 240 schools and focusing really on the problem areas, which is KZN and the Eastern Cape. And if we do 240 schools, we will have replaced 4,000 pit toilets, and it'll benefit at least 120,000 children.
I-Breadline Africa ithi badinga imali engaphezulu kuka-140 million wamarandi ukuze bafeze izinhloso zabo zokuqeda izindlu zangasese zemgodi ezingaphezulu kwezinkulungwane ezine ezikoleni. Ngingononhlakanipho Magwaza ezindabeni ze-SABC eNdwedwe.
Siphinde sikubingelele sikamukele mbukeli Ekhaya Jikelele usahlezi nami noxolo intokazi yasemantshaleni uyabona ke mbukeli masekuka kanje njengamanje ngikuphathele ivakashi ezimbili lezi ivakashi zami ke babukela athi siyibona nanze lapha yana ivakashi zami ke mbukeli lezi engizoxoxisana nazo namhlanje zibiza ngama content creators angithi phela uyabazi laba abahlezi besemafonini uyadliwa basemafonini benzani basemafonini so namhlanje ke thina njenge Ekhaya sithe ake sibe nabo ke namhlanje bikelela nthani hello siyabonga kakhulu ke guys nokuthi ke nize nisivakashele Andini ake siqale ngawe ke sisi before everything else yini le content creation.
Okay, sanibona igama lami ngoAndile kwakhuluse. So i-content creation basically into eqhamuke ne-social media. Niyazi ukuthi inkathi namhlanje siku-social media, i-social media iyona nje edume kakhulu. So content creation basically ukuthatha ifoni yakho ushuthe noma yini oyithandayo. Ushutha ugqoka, ushutha uyothenga esitolo, ushutha usendaweni yokudla. Mawuphethe nje ifoni uqopha nje yonke into oyenzayo usuya creator ke manje
Siyamo nawe wenza same thing kuyagqoka kuyadliwa yini laba nishabo hello guys today when I wake up in the morning bese nivula ama curtain
sanibonani kunjani
siyaphila sisters
ngiyaphila i-content creation ukuthatha izithombe noma ama video uyifaka enkundleni zokuxhumana la abantu sikhuluma nabo manje einsukwini zanamhlanje sitholana komakhala ekhukhwini efonini ila sikhuluma khona ila sibonana khona masingakwazi ukubonana ngaphandle so ngiyavuka ekseni ngiyashutha ngiyaxuba ngiwashubuso ngezibuso ngiya-advertise nalawo ma-products engiwasebenzisayo ukuze nalabo abantu bangilandelayo noma bangithandayo babone ngcono ukuthi nawo basebenzise wona nala ngihamba khona mhlambe bangaya nala ngidla khona
hayi cha ngisazongena-ke lapha ekutheni mase-advertise manje ngisafuna nje kusasekuqaleni ngoba iy'ngane ey'ningi uthi uyayibuza these days like everybody wants to be a content creator yabo so I think it's very important ukuthi sixoxisane bezo-understanda nabo emakhaya ukuthi le nto lena content creation what does it entail so uma ngabe Andile sen content creator ke usuku wedwa noma kufuneka ube nabasizi bakho abazobe bekunceda
lalela ungayenza nje uwedwa and kakhulukazi yabo mawusaqala awukakafiki kulelo zinga ukuthi ube nabantu abazokusiza mawusaqala nje uwena nefoni yakho nje umngane wakho omkhulu nje mawuvuka nje fana ukuthi ukhuluma wedwa abantu bazobakubuka noma usemoteni bathi ayibona sisi kwenzakalani uyahlanya yini
manje iziphi uma ngabe uwedwa ungakabi nabasizi iziphi into oyidingayo like ngiyazi probably ring lights yini lokunye
udinga nje ifoni yakho i-camera nje uyiclean nje ukuthi masikubuka nje ungacwebezela ubonakala ingafilizi nje yabo phathi ifoni yakho i-ring light awuyidingi kahlehle uyidinga mhlambe nje mawusendlini njengami mina ngishutha ama video eyinwele ne skin care yabo so manje ukuthi nje abantu bangibone kahle kugqame ngidinga i-ring lights kodwa nje mawushutha nje uyihambela nje usuku lakho ifoni yakho nje i-lighting
iyona ebaluleke
kakhulu ukuthi nje ifoni yakho nje la kune light khona uyibhekise khona
manje wethiyamo ke mina ke lami lapha kwami Instagram ngiyazama ama follower nkosi yami kodwa nje uyabona nje usizi lodwa manje nenze njani ukuze nizokwazi ukuthola ama followers amaningi nanokuthi ake ningichazela yini le ngake balekile ukuthi ube nama followers amaningi
ama followers amaningi asiza when usebenzana nama brands because badinga ama number ukuze bakwazi ukusebenzisana nawo kodwa kunento ebizwa nge-micro influencer and content creator bese kuphinde kube ne-macro so kuyakwazeka ukuthi nawe usebenze unabantu bakho abawu-500 kuyakwazeka futhi
nami ngina 31,000 or something so ngicela nami kuyongena ku-macro ke ngithola imali thola imali
wena futhi usungena ku-macro so amanamba abalulekile lapho
kuholwa kanjani po Andile
Kuholwa okay thina sikwi space se YouTube.
Okay.
So kuhlukahlukile indlela according to indlela oyithola ezihlukahlukene zokuxhumana. Thina siwabili siku YouTube. So ku YouTube uqala ukhola mawusuthole ama subscribers kahle kahle abalandeli.
Kufana nama followers aka
ama followers kodwa aka Instagram ilanguage yethu ama subscribe. Wafika ku 1000 subscribers. Then I-watch time yakho u-4,000 yabo ukuthi ama video abantu ba-engage kangakanani bayibuka kangakanani video yakho mawusuthole nje lawo ama-requirements lawo ilawo usuqala ukwazi ukukhola khona.
Hey hayi cha kuyasetshenziswa abantu abangaka manje ngingakwazi ngiyivulela lami page phela ku YouTube angithi kodwa bese ngiviewa mina ka 4,000 kuze ngizoqala ngihole.
Hayi akwenzeki akwenzeki
manje Thiyamo awungitshela nje like yini into ofisa nespace ofisa ukuyibona kuso njengoba nje uyi-content creator where do you want to see yourself like uzothi uzoba satisfied nje mase unama followers amangaki noma umusu wenzani
ku YouTube kunegaba negaba
yeah
kuba no 1000 la uqala khona ukwazi ukhola
yeah
bese khona into ebizwa nge-YouTube partner program
yes
lapho basebona njenge business partner yabo.
Oh uYouTube njalo
uYouTube sekubona njenge
yasebenza ingane sezingophatna lo YouTube
seniyakwazi ukuba nama advert nala ba advertiser khona sebekhokhela ke kanjalo
yeah
so that would be igoal yokuqala
yeah
mase udlulela ke mina isigaba sengidlulile khona lapho ku partner.
Oh,
sengu 30,000 futhi.
Okay.
So uyafisa ukuthi ufike ku 50,000. Musu wakhona so ufisa ukuthi ufike ku 100,000. Bese kuba nama award abakunika wona ka YouTube sebe recognize.
So ngiyafisa ukuthi mosapha ko YouTube. Manje Thiyamo no Andile ningxoxeleni so uma ngabonza lento ye-content creation i full time mos le way angeke uzwazi mina ngeke ngikwazi njengoba ngisebenza lapha Nkosi yami senga-content creator nini ngivuka ngo-4 ekseni
sesiyasebenza nawe njengoba sila kodwa siyasebenza mangakutshela manje ukuthi i-camera yami iloku iyashutha sisemsebenzini so nawe uyakwazi ukuthi mawuvuka ekseni uthi content creator uma ufika emsebenzini uyasibonisa ukuthi mantombazane noma bafana ngisebenza
lapha ngenza ukuthi
ikhofe ngiliphuzayo mangisebenza nali noma itiye mawuphuma la so uyasho ukuthi okay sengiyaphuma sengiyekhaya ukuthi nje ifoni ihlale
sandleni we-Andile awungitshela ke ngiyazi ukuthi mina for mina uma ngabe ngisuke ngikhuluma nezingane ezincane kakhulukazi mangithi izingane ezincane ngisho intsha ikakhulukazi ethandayo ukuthi ingene kule mkhakha le yezinto zo content creation mina always say you know what equip yourself with knowledge qala ufuna ulwazi qala do your research so that uzokwazi ukuthi ubone ukuthi kusebenza kanjani la yini into ngi-advisor anyone nje 13-year-old uyawazi ama-teen message qala uba na 13 sebeyibona ukuthi sebefuna uba ama-content creator yiphi advice ongabanikeza yona?
Okay lento oyishilo ngempela ibalekile before ungene entweni kumele uyazi kahle uthathe isikhathi uyifunde kahle hle so into engaba advisor yona siswami ukuthi abaye kwi YouTube space bathole ama content creators bayibuke le YouTube space ukuthi oh okay kwenziwani kahle kahle lana mabe nga understand bangasenda banga comment ngaphansi kwama video besho ukuthi okay sisi o buti ngisacela ukungena kule space lesi angazi kwenziwa kanjani but before nalokho kwa YouTube udinga ukuthi ube nothando kwalento oyenzayo ngoba inzima kumnandi yebo ukuphatha ifoni like kulula umuntu mebuka kulula uphethe ifoni uyashutha kodwa kufanele ube nothando ngoba ufike la ukhathala khona yonke into oyenza noma ubani
umsebenzi revolver aranda lapha umile use restaurant nabazali bakho before kudliwa mana
you understand as vele wangikhumbuza uma uhleze ngithethisa so umuntu ufana aqala abe nothando lokuba phambi kwecamera kwesibili ufana wazi ukuthi yini ozoyenza kule space ngoba senze izinto ezihlukile nje besho uthi ama-content ayenza ehlukile nami engenza ehlukile mawusuthole lokho then uthatha isikhathi uye ko Google uyogooglisha ukuthi okay kwenzakalani kodwa ulwazi uyalidinga before
because mina nje ngingabuza ukuthi okay njoba nami ngina 31 nje manje if ngifuna uku-advertisela inkampani ethize ke ngoba ngeswakwazi wabiza amagama la inkampani ethize then mina ngi-approach ngizofika kanjani kuyi akukho yini indawo mhlawumbe like marketplace who engikwazi ukubona khona onaka ama-brands afuna abantu or afuna ama-advertiser abantu abazo-advertise or benzeni kutholakala lapho lokho like wena uma ngathiwa nje u-advertisele i-SABC i-SABC kuthole kanjani?
So i-SABC okay ngicela ukukhulumela ngasidini lami mina ngumuntu okholwa kakhulu ukuthi into uma uyifuna noma uyithanda khona isisho kuthiwa shoot your shot kusho ukuthi sukuma ubone ukuthi wenze njani mina ke ngiyasukuma mina ngithatha ifoni yami
ngibasendele ama message lama brands engibona ukuthi ngifuna ukusebenzisana nawo because ukulinda ukuthi bazoza kuwena kuthatha isikhathi eside and sometimes kumele uyisukumele wena uyibonakalisa ukuthi ngumuntu onjena mase uyaye mina ngenza njalo itechnique yami leyo kodwa usually mawusufika esigabeni nje uthiyameshile mawusunama followers adlulele usuyabonakala ama brands azokwazi ukuthi akubone nanokuthi mawufuna ukusebenzana ne brand it's very kuyasiza ukuthi ushuthe nalawo ma products ubatag because the more ubateka balokho bekubona bathi hayibo nansi intombazana asike sibone ukuthi singasebenzisana nayo kanjani.
Thiyama ungathi lezi zinto zo content creation kanje mina ngiyangibone angisho ukuthi ziyahambisana nobuhle kodwa ngithi sonke we are all visual beings yonke into iqala ngokubona nani so I can only imagine ukuthi we mawuzokwenza lento kufuneka uslay angithi nithi kuyaslay kufuneka iweave emntaneni ithi phaqa inamathiselo izipho be on point ama outfits agqokwayo manje uma ngabe ungakafiki lo level usiyakwazi ukuafforda lezi impahla ezibizayo nani umuntu osaqala Nkosi yami angasurvive kanjani kodwa la
njengoba Andile ebeshila ukuthi ihambisana nothando lento le akusho ukuthi kumele ube nezimpahla thizeni noma ama weave thizeni i-content creation uyakhona ukcreator i-natural hair ebizwa nge-natural hair inwele zakho ozalwe nazo so uyazigeza inwele uyazigqoba inwele uyaluka ekhanda
so kuningi
sonke khona la siqala khona so uqala ngalokho onakho uyozufike kulokho
kungcono ngithandile iphuzu lokuthi niyasebenza khona enikwenzayo ebese on the side this is like a side hustle thing because mina I would think if nami nginendodakazi nginengane efisa ukwenza lento eyami advice would be listen cela uhambe esikoleni cela uhambe uthola umsebenzi ostable ozokwazi ukuthi inyanga nenyanga uyahola la so lethu uzoba ne security then lokho usungakwenza esayidini ngoba angiboni umbuzo wami olandela ukuthi lento content creation ihamba ifike ephi mhlawumbe ine age kuhamba mina njengoba nje sengisigogwana sengemngaka ngisanga content creator or khona lapha kuhamba khona ube ukuthi manje hayi manje you're too old for this dude
yazi khona ikhala for wonke umuntu ukhona umuntu oyingane ukhona owusisi ukhona osemsebenzini ngiyathanda mawuthi umuntu akaye esikoleni ahambe yofunda njengami ngiyafunda ngifunda ngifuna ukuba ummeli kodwa ngiyi-content creator ngaye ngasebenza futhi nase-ofisini ngenza imali engiyiholayo mhlawumbe egcineni kwenyanga okwamanje ku-content creation ngiyasebenza nakhona ngiyafunda ngiyakwazi ukuthi ngiphinde ngisebenze nase-ofisini kodwa i-camera iyangisiza ukuthi nala ngiyakhona noma ngifunda bayathanda ukungibona ngifunda bayathanda ukuza ukuthi ngifunda kanjani bayathanda nokuza ukuthi esikoleni ngiphumelela kanjani so i-camera iyasiza noma ngabe yini siyenzayo ikuphi futhi
ayikhethile
hayi
cha ziyasho ama-girls island e-content creation kufuneka mase nihamba lana ngithathe iy'namba zenu keni nami mhlawumbe ngizongikhulisela ami page nami ngifuna nami ngifuna ama-followers so ngiyazi ngengeza ukuthi ena hayi cha lo msebenzi wenu usezingeni ngoba kukhona ngisho nane-conference ake ningixoxeleni nge-conference
i-YouTube conference okay kuba khona ikhathi la i-YouTube ihosta khona ama-conference la kuhlangana khona ama-content creators ukuthi sibe sespacini esisodwa ezabantu abaenza into eyodwa khona sizokhulumisana yabona sikwazi ukuthi omunye ashare ama ideas akhe nomunye sixoxisana sikwazi ukuthi sikhulise le community because njengoba ngishile eqaleni ukuthi njengamanje sesikhathini la i-social media khona sezingeni eliphezulu abantu abaningi bayakhona so kuyasiza ukuthi sihlangane ukuthi sikhulume sixoxisana ukuthi singayikhulisa kanjani lento ingafika kanjani kwabantu abangayazi abangayi-understand yini esingayenza ukuthi sikhombise nabantu abadala ukuthi kahle kahle lento esiyenzayo asidlali ukuthi siphathane namafoni kahle kahle senza imali kakhulukazi into emnandi ukuthi wenza imali futhi wenza into oyithandayo
hayi cha amantombazane siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi ke nizivakashele namhlanje mhlawumbe ke ntsheleke ababukeli ukuthi ke nitholakala phi kuma social media platforms
okay sibeka ke ngitshela wena okay so mina ngu-Andile Khuluse Instagram _according to Andy ku-YouTube it's Andile's World ku-Twitter it's _Andile Khuluse ku-TikTok it's _Andile Khuluse SA yes
Wena Thiyama?
Mina nguThia Smith and ngitholakala as uThia Smith ku YouTube, ku Instagram, ku TikTok naku Twitter.
Hayi ke ma girls ningaqale nihambe yazi ukuthini khona umbukeli wethu osethe washaya call. Shuthu usiyawabona ama favorite content creators wakhe wathi ufuna ukukhuluma. Sabona Bianca from Eastern Cape. Good morning sikwamukele ohlelweni lethu ekhaya Jikelele breakfast show.
Sabona msakazi kunjani?
Siyaphila Ntombi siyabonga ukuthi ukhulume nathi namhlanje ekseni. Ngihlezi no Bianca la no Andi laba ama content creators. Ngabe khona yini mhlawumbe ufuna ukubuza kubo noma ufuna ukuphawula?
Yebo ngithanda ukubuza ukuthi mangukuthi interested ukuthi ngibe content creator, do I need any permission mangukuthi kunendawo engifuna ukushutha kiyo mangifuna ngibe ukushutha kuma restaurants and all of that? Do I need any permission from anyone ukuthi ngikwazi ukushutha such content publish on my social media?
Oh sibonga kakhulu Bianca uzobaleka lo mbuzo. uBianca Andile noThiyamo ubuza ukuthi uma ngabe ethanda ukuba i-content creator, uma mhlawumbe yena yakhe i-content efuna ukuyishare lapha ema-restaurants or ey'ndaweni ey'thize, udinga i-permission yini ukuze ezokwazi ukushutha ngaphakathi?
Kubalekile lokho. Ngiyenza ukuthi mangifika mhlambe ku-restaurant khona abantu abasebenzayo endaweni thizeni kodwa bangathanda ukuthi kwaziwe ukuthi basebenza khona noma mhlawumbe ongekho comfortable ukuthi evele yebo akazi ukuthi uzovela uzobonwa obani uzobonwa kuphi. Ngiyake ngikhulumisa abantu ngifike noma ngabe usisi okusevayo uyambingelela kahle uyamhlonipha uyambuza ukuthi uyathanda noma awuthandi. Esikhathini esiningi mina angibaveza abantu engihleli nabo noma basebenzayo endaweni but kubalekile ukuthi ubuze.
Imvume yona Andile sengisho imvume nje mhlawumbe for example ngiyazi ukuthi mina khona i-restaurant engingafika kuyo kwathiwa hayi akusavumeleki ukuthatha izithombe la ngabona ngathi we Andile sebesimoshela. Yibo laba bafika la bazoshutha njalo ama-restaurant owner wasafuni.
Kuba njalo sisami especially nakwama mall futhi uzothola ukuthi ungene kwezinye izitolo kuthiwa nje ngicela uyibeke eceleni i-camera kuvumelekile nasema-restaurants so ey'khathini ey'njalo unfortunately ngeke sikwazi ukuthi siphule imithetho yalezo indawo kumele sizihloniphe siqhubeke nevlog yethu mhlambe ey'motweni noma ngaphandle kodwa
manje ngeviki ake nixoxeni ngeviki nje ke ingakanani i-content eniyiprodusayo like nje ungathi evikini oyibonayo or mhlawumbe unosuku ukuthi njalo ngolesithathu ngiyahlala ke manje sengiya-edit yinto ebengifuna ukuyibuza le mase niwashuthile la mavidiyo khona ne-editing on top of that
kune-editing
ubani onenzela njani
sizenzela thina
nenze kanjani
uyafunda kunento ebizwa nge-tutorial
okay
noma ku-YouTube bayafundisa ukuthi ku-edithwa kanje kusebenziswa izinto enje kune-app thizeni esetshenziswayo uyafunda yonke into ihambisana nolwazi safunda kanjalo uku-editha.
Njengamanje ke futhi sinomunye umbukeli osesishayele ucingo igama lakhe kena uSizwe kanti uvela lapha eNewcastle kwaZulu-Natal. Sawubona lapho Sizwe kuphi sesinqawini or useNewcastle?
Hayi semadadeni
semadadeni lapha koMndozo lapha e4
khona eswanga.
Sikubingelele bhuti wami ngabe khona ufuna ukuphawula kuThiyamo kanye no Andile noma nje ofisa ukuthi ukubuze?
Ngicela ukubuza nje kubo dadewethu lapha e-studio ukuthi ngabe ikhona yini ukuthi kufuneka nje igender ethize nje mawufuna ukungenela kulo mkhakha.
Oh okay ubhuti
Nekuthi nje nangithi ngiyabheka abantu abaningi bakhona bahle abantu abazenza ama content.
Hayi uSizwe useyibonela ingqazi ukusize la. Usufuna ukubeka amabili amathathu niwesizwe lethi inkomo.
Dabule isibaye inkomo la.
So uSizwe ke Thiyamo no Andile ubuza indaba yokuthi ukebone kakhulu la mhlawumbe ku social media ukuthi kugcwele abantu besifazane kakhulu. Ingabe yini izathu lokho mhlawumbe ngoba nje abantu besifazane abathanda content creator or bakhona mhlawumbe abesilisa nabo?
So abantu besilisa nabo bakhona kodwa mase sikhuluma iqiniso abantu besifazane kakhulu abagcwele kule space lesi se-content creation because thina abantu besifazane siyayithanda nje ifoni sihlezi sefoni sihlezi sifuna ukuthatha izithombe sihlezi nje sibhizi nefoni so ingako ngisho ukuthi mhlawumbe abantu besifazane kakhulukazi abakhona kodwa uma ungabhekisisa kahle ku YouTube yonke gender ikhona ayekho ngekho.
Hayi ke Sizwe waseNewcastle usiyabona ke nawe ukuthi nanso ke igap in the marketplace uma ngabe nawe ufuna ukuba i-content creator hayi shona khona mfo kugcwele abantu besifazane futhi ke shuthi bangakujabulela nje nabantu ukuthi kube na more male content creators as well. Hayibo saze sahlala kamnandi ekhaya ngathi siyahlala usuku lonke bakwethu sibonga kakhulu ukuthi mina nginifisela inhlanhla ladies engathi ningaphumelela niqhubeke nibe bahle niphathe kahle ke nihloniphe umhlaba nihloniphe nana ngifuna nje ukuthi noma sengihlala ngihlangana nani in 20 years time nibe nisabahle kanje.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Ake sibonga kakhulu ke ngeyivakashi zethu eyitheza sivakashela namhlanje. Babukeli ake sithi qo eyitolo embukeli siyophuza manje sizobuya emva komzuzwana. Siphinde sikwamukele umbukeli Ekhaya Jikelele breakfast show. Sibonga kakhulu ukuthi usahlezi nathi. Manje ke njengoba wazi umbukeli ukuthi la kusekhaya lakho sihambe ke saya sayofika qathatha esifundazweni iKwaZulu Natal kumasipala eMadlangeni njengoba kunombukiso obizwa ngeMadlangeni Art and Sports Festival nokuwumbukiso kozobanjwa kusasa eBensdorp Sports Center. Njengamanje ke sixhumana ngohlelo lweZoom nomphathi walomasipala uSenzo Sikhakhane. Sikubingelele mnumzana uSenzo sikwamukele lapha ohlelweni.
Ngiyabingelela umsakazi ngibikelele nabalaleli bonke ohlelo lakho.
Sicela nje ukuthi uchazele ababukele emakhaya ngalomcimbi nanokuthi umayelana nani.
Umcimbi esinawo njengomasipala esikhathini esidlule ukuwaziwa njenge-Mineral Cup nokwathi umphathi womkhandlu inhloko yomkhandlu umhlonishwa uShenge ngokuhamba kwesikhathi wanoma ukuthi awubizwe nge-Emadlangeni Sport and Art Festival. Lokhu wakeziswa ukuvula izandla zakhe ukuthi umcimbi umele futhi u-ownwe izakhamuzi zonke zaseMadlangeni. Usukhona-ke umcimbi okukhulu kakhulu ngawo ukunikeza ithuba kubona bonke abantwana nabamaciko ukuthi bezozibonakalisa kakhulukazi njengoba kuyinyanga yentsha kunikeze bona ithuba lokuthi baqhakambise amakhono abo ngezinhlelo ezahlukene.
Ngiyabona baba Sikhakhane ukuthi lo mcimbi uzobukusasa. Ingabe yini enigqugquzele ukuthi niliqale lolu hlobo lombukiso?
Okusigqugquzele kakhulu ukuqhakambisa nokuhlonipha iqhaza elabanjwa yintsha yakithi eminyakeni eminingi edlule nalapho intsha yakithi yasukuma yama ngezinyawo ukulwisana nohlelo lalukhona labacindezeli bangaleso sikhathi lokuqhutshwa kokufundiswa kwemfundo kakhulukazi kuthina bantu abamnyama ngolimi lwesiBhunu. Sizokhumbula ukuthi abantwana bakithi basukuma bama ngenyawo ukulwisana ngalokho. Endleke kulenyanga esikuyona namhlanje ukubungaza nokuthokozela iqhaza elabanjwa ibona ngaleso sikhathi. Okukhulu kakhulu ke bese ke sivula izandla sibanikeza ithuba lokuthi lokhu abafisa ukwenza nabakwazi ukwenza kangcono ukubonakalisa amakhono abo ngendlela ezihlukene bakwenze futhi bathola ithuba lokuxoxa eduzane nabahlonishwa nezinye ihambeli ezisuke zingxenye yalomcimbi.
Ingabe ke luzobahlomisa kanjani ke abantu basendaweni lapho akonyukhasela osizweni eTreg kanye nako Vryheid lolu hlelo?
Kuzona zonke izakhamuzi kuvumelekile ukuthi ziqhamuke ngokubhalisa ebantwini abaqondene ngqo neminyango yabahwebayo bese bekwazi ukuthi babe seyindaweni ezifanelekile ukwazi ukuthi bahwebe namathuba emphakathini ukuthi bekwazi ukuxosha ikati eziko. Nanokuthi-ke namaciko endawo okuyiwona azobe eperforma kakhulukazi kulo mcimbi kukhona phela azobe ezohlanjwa ngakho izandla ukwazi ukubukisa ngekhono lawo nokubamba iqhaza lomcimbi.
Ingabe mhlonisha ngakwezomnotho ke umasipala uhlose ukuzuza kangakanani ngalombukiso kanti futhi mhlawumbe bakhona yini enfisa abaxhasi enfisa nje ukuthi nibabonga abaxhase kulombukiso?
Noma ngeke ngizivuleleke kakhulu ngabaxhasi balomcimbi kodwa bakhona isebenzisane nabo kakhulu ukwenza lo mcimbi kube impumelelo. Isizathu esikhulu isidala ukuthi ngingakwazi ukuvulela ngabo kakhulu ukuthi before uqala umcimbi kusasa soba nenkundla la umhlonishwa ezokhulumisana khona nabendaba ukwethula bonke abenze lo mcimbi ube impumelelo nezinga ozoba kulona. Kwezomnotho thina-ke eMadlangeni sinendawo enhle kakhulu okuyibalele Game Reserve nokukhona i-B&B ekhona namanye ama-B&B ngaphakathi endaweni yakithi nakasilindele khona ukuthi ihambele iningi kakhulu zisebenzise lezo indawo, zisebenzise ikhona zendawo ukwazi ukuthi kuqhubeke amabhizinisi endaweni. Silindeleke ukuthi ezomnotho zikhule kakhulukazi kule weekend esakuyona, nala sizobona khona osomabhizinisi bendawo behlomula kakhulu.
Sibonge kakhulu ke Mhlonishwa ngesikhathi sakho la ekhaya Jikelele. Hayi siyathemba umcimbi uzohamba kahle kusasa.
Sithokoza kakhulu, siyafisa ukumema zonke izakhamuzi zendawo ukuphuma zizothamela umcimbi ungowazo, umkhandlu ungowazo. Sithokoza kakhulu.
Siyathokoza Mhlonishwa. Ake mbukele ake ngikusikele nje nali ijuphana ubambe nawe. Phela ke uyabona ukuthi ngempela sonto esibheke kuyo singasho nje sithi hayi cha uyabona le yi weekend enkulu ngempela ngoba siningi isiphithiphithi esisoba khona. Angifuni kulokhu ngichaza okuningi, ake sibonele kulombiko.
Umnyadala webasha Uhuru Festival wasekwa ngonyaka ka-2012 ukuze kungafi inkumbulo yolutsha luka-1976. Elithekukazi linika ulutsha lwanamhlanje inkululeko yokuphonononga ubuchule balo kunye nenkululeko yokuthetha.
Ifocus kakhulukazi ebantwini abakwi-creative industries, especially young people in that space. So this year sina different themes going on evikini kule viki esiya kulo kule viki. So besine ingxoxo ezenzakalayo ngabantu in the creative space abahlukahlukene benza imisebenzi ehlukahlukene. Kuzoba khona abantu abazobebonakalisa imisebenzi yabo phecelezi ama-art exhibitions azobenzeka, and then so besivala ke event yethu ngomculo ngomgqibelo kwesiya kuwo kwi stage sethu so besino DJ Izinhle something Soweto, sizobe sino Ekhaya, bese ke sizobe sino Thebe ozobethola isicoco sethu sisibiza iBasha Uhuru Music Legacy Award. He's a recipient yakulo nyaka.
Okay, mna andikho ku creative space. Ndivumelekile bandingeza?
Uvumelekile bawongeza. It's specifically ikon hilindawo yabantu bonke. If you are not in the creative space, uzukhumbula uba this place is about making sure abantu come to it and experience about what this place is about. I-pilgrimage yabantu base South Africa. So mawufika la ufike ekhaya ufike endaweni where you belong, but also sifuna nokugqugquzela abantu who also want to be in this space to know that as a space, creative industries also contributes a lot to economy as a South Africa. And especially let's also celebrate and commemorate the youth Olutsha Laga 1976 in a space where they were kept after they did their protest.
Okay. Ma ndikhanixelele ngexesha ke ndilungise ndifike ngabani xesha?
Uzufika from 10 o'clock. Sizabe sirun a market. The market will be having abantu who will be selling food and craft. Abantu who are in the creative spaces will be showcasing their work and you'll have an opportunity to buy. It's a family time. And then from 4 o'clock we open up a stage set is Kulu and then you come through. So from 10 o'clock sifuna nje ube into yelanga lonke. So from there you can come and enjoy the space. Also there's tours which are running on the day, so you can have time. We will take date lako uthole guided tour around Constitution Hill.
Hayi ke enkosi bhuti mandilungise ndiyeza na kanjani?
Hayi ke jabulele ukubona when you come. Thank you.
Nangona ke i-festival yabantu abatsha ne-youth endala iyamenywa kaloku masambeni sonke siyobaxhasa.
Mbukeli sesifike ekupheleni kohlelo lwethu, sizophinde sibuye ngomsombuluko ngehora lesithupha. Sibonga kakhulu ukuhlanganyela kanye nawe. Nibe nempela sonto emnandi, nisale kahle.